All right, everyone. So this is Nick, Cover 3 Athletics, and we're doing something a little bit different on this Monday. So I'm here with Tyler Dayoub and Max Galentine from Baldwin. So obviously Baldwin, not the best season win-loss record-wise on the football field this fall. And unfortunately, there was a big news that came out about midway through the season about some potential changes that were going to happen on the field. But, despite all the chaos and the noise on the outside and what I feel is kind of some unfair and wrong perception about, the program and what they should do or kind of how they should manage it. They did everything they could. And honestly, let's just be real with the schedule Baldwin had for conference play. I really don't know how many other teams would have won more than maybe one or two of those games, just with respect to Peters Township, Upper St. Clair, Bethel Park, Moon, and South Fayette. And may I add, three of those five are in the WPIAL semifinals on Friday nights. So no easy slate. So let's just get started. So I guess so. Tyler and Max, thanks for joining me tonight. So first question: when all that chaos broke out, just with the news of you guys, the program allegedly wanting to shorten games, I guess what was the immediate reaction and kind of how truthful or kind of how maybe twisted did that kind of get out of hand?
So the initial reaction was surprise because we didn't think that would ever happen, but it was twisted a lot because Mr. Cherico, he wanted to come to us, see what we thought about it first. It was supposed to be more of a group discussion with team, family, and not the outside media. It wasn't supposed to get to them yet. It was more supposed to be us and a discussion on the team.
Yeah, one of the other athletic directors let it get outside, which, as he said, it wasn't supposed to. Um, and that then media twisted that and called it mercy when it was just supposed to be safety for our players because we had a very small team against these very big teams. And like they have 60 players on the roster. We had about 20 at the time. So it was just for our safety. And when he came to us, we all declined that and we just wanted to play the game normally.
Now, like I said, so I don't know how many people know this, but my hometown's from Butler, and back in 2018, 2019, Butler football experienced a very similar situation playing 6A ball against, Central at the time, Pine Ridge, North Allegheny, Seneca, etc., where they were struggling to have 25 kids suit up. And the 25 that did suit up, I mean, they were freshmen, sophomores who really should have been sticking to JV, who were forced into big reps. So I know we talked a little bit before we started. So you guys said you started with about 30 kids, back in August, and then you guys were down to about what, 20 by mid-season?
Yeah, about that.
About 25, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of our players got a few of them got injured throughout the season. A bunch of them got injured. Um, Only about two had to quit because of the injury. And couldn't play the rest of the season. But yeah, our numbers just kept decreasing throughout the year. We did have a few late joins though.
Yeah,
But
and
again,
we were
that's
a young team. We only started with 5 seniors, and I think the majority of kids that were playing or getting time, not starting, were underclassmen.
so it sounds like there are some bright spots, and obviously, being forced in playing time, you learn. Um, so obviously, with the small roster and kind of like the turnover that happened, honestly, and it was put out there in a good way. Just a lot of young guys playing a lot of different positions, a lot of opportunities, a lot of learning. So I guess from both you, you both told me ahead of time that you both played about three, four, five different positions throughout the season. So I guess kind of just for everyone listening and tuning into this, kind of just tell the audience, what positions they were, but also just kind of like what all challenges and opportunities go into playing three, four positions and having to kind of learn at the varsity level on the fly.
Yeah, so I played quarterback, tight end, kicker, and linebacker, and I got switched to quarterback midway through the season. That was probably the hardest part about it. It was difficult to adjust. And playing 4 quarters, kicking, playing linebacker on the defensive side and quarterback on the offensive side, you don't get a break. So it's a lot mentally and a lot physically as well.
Yeah, I was safety like 3 games in, I was switched to safety, and that's my first year playing safety. So that was a lot to get used to from outside linebacker. I was a backup quarterback and wide receiver slash tight end. Um, and tight end I've never touched before. Um, it was a lot of changing around, and it was just what we had to do.
Yeah, and like I said, I like how Max you touched on the mental aspect because I couldn't imagine jumping in mid-season and taking on a whole quarterback offense, but then having to focus on kicking, defense, let alone going for quarterback to linebacker, and then Tyler, your case of getting a tight end, which obviously tight end, we all know it's a physical position. Then you got to think about playing quarterback or be ready. You got to go jump, play safety, read the
Yeah,
opposing offense. I mean, I couldn't imagine. So I know I say this with all due respect. So and I know some people, unfortunately, took advantage of kind of take a cheap shot. I felt at the program. Um, were you guys ever concerned about your safety or like the team knowing that there's all about 20, 25 healthy bodies and let's just tell it how it is, freshman, sophomore versus 18, 19-year-olds. I mean, there's a clear physical difference, it's just part of life. So are you guys concerned? And if you were, like, how would you kind of combat that? Go, lace them up every Friday and play.
Yeah, there's
uh,
always thoughts before you get on the field, but once you get on the field, you don't really care. Like I have a strong trust in my line and the people around me where I wasn't too worried about getting hurt or getting killed behind them.
yeah. On like you said, the mental is it's all over the place before the game, like not knowing what you're going against besides what you see on film. And it's like you just got to be confident in everything. If you're confident in your skills, not playing scared, having trust within your team, you'll end up fine. And like I played just knowing on the defensive side, just knowing if I got to the ball and got to the running back or whoever, I trusted that other people would be there to help me make the tackle as well.
Okay. Now, based on that, now, I mean, just to kind of put it out there, did you guys, you two in particular, but also your team, were you guys kind of hoping that, we'd have a little bit more mercy rule running the clock, or did you guys want to play 48 minutes full like normal?
Now, me personally, I wanted to play the full game. I love the game. It's one of my favorite sports. I really, I wish that didn't even happen personally. I wanted the full 48.
Yeah, our whole team, we didn't have one person disagree. Like I wanted to play for the full 48, like the game was intended to be played. Full 48 minutes of experiments or experience. And everyone agreed.
And that's why I wanted to ask because obviously, hit the radio waves, it hit, social media, and it was me. I mean, I saw it, Facebook, X, Instagram without even trying to. It was just about, all the criticism and just, and again, I mean, what I do outside of Cover Three, a little quick bit, I develop programs, I run my own nonprofit, so I understand all that stuff from a similar angle. So I was like, there's more to the story. Let's not jump and just assume that everyone's tapping out here. So I'm glad to kind of you guys got to share that because I think it is known. So everybody listening, for the record, Baldwin won the full 48. They wanted no special treatment. Put in a tough situation. Unfortunately, it happens. So let's get a little more of like a positive spin on it. So your 5 conference games. I think everyone that's involved in WPIAL football or PIAA football can agree the Allegheny Six and 5A is one of the toughest, if not the toughest conference in the state. I mean, I think the fact that we have three of the other five playing in a semifinal, the fact that two of them are ranked pretty high up in the state rankings in 5A. So out of those five, and just I mean, we'll just be real with it. Out of those 5 games, did you guys think you can pull any upsets?
I mean, we definitely believed in the chance that we had. Um, I believe that it was some of our best games for like we all were out there doing our thing and having fun as a team. We really connected those last few games. We were just having fun. I mean, we were doing what we could. We believed that we could upset and win. Um, but either way, we were just having a great time, having fun playing the sport.
Yeah, there was hope and pride going into the South Fayette game and the other games, but when it came down to it, we all just wanted to make plays and have fun on the field together.
And I asked that not to try to like make a joke out of it, because I think it's important to share. Because I mean, honestly, just being real, with all due respect, no one was giving you guys a chance to even keep within 35. So I think it's important to say, hey, what is a little bit of that glimpse of the mentality of, with the odds not in your favor, going into and then kind of build off that aspect. So obviously, with all again the negative talk on the outside, we'll call it a little bit of drama probably that it caused, but also it's the reality of 20 some kids on the roster, toughest conference in the WPIAL. It's 5A football as it is. Obviously, the first 5 games didn't go as planned either. So how, and I mean, it's kind of because you two were kind of two of the more leaders on the team, which is incredible, you know, for being a sophomore and a freshman, respectfully. Like, seriously, hats off to you both because that's not easy. I guess what did it take to keep the morale and just keep that positive hope alive, or kind of keep everyone to still show up, put the work in, stay on the team, stay motivated? I mean, what did it take?
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult for a while because people do put their heads down after losing that much. But I think what really kept people together was the bond that we all created through the team. We tried to have fun when we could, and that really helped everyone keep their head up and just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, to every game there were bright sides. Like every game there was some good plays we all got excited and happy for. Our last game, Upper St. Clair, coach put uh, Hushak at running back to score a 2 point. That was hilarious. And every practice we were just having fun, locking in, but also having fun at the same time.
Which I mean, that's awesome. Like, I love that you said there's a bright side because I mean, seriously, whether you're, a title contender or you're just trying to get through a tough season, there's always a bright side. There's always, and like I said, you don't lose, you learn.
Yeah.
So I mean, I give you guys props. Um, so is it safe to say that Baldwin football is the Baldwin Brotherhood?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We all agreed that this year our like it was a family this year. We were all connected.
This year we were probably closer than any other year in Baldwin ever.
I mean, there's a lot of, you said there was what, about 5 seniors on your team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as the season went on, we did gain a few seniors as we lost other kids. So we probably ended about 7,
Yeah, there were
but
some.
we did start with 5 for sure.
Okay, so we got some, and so just so throw out the record, what happened happened. This also we got some real positives. I mean, brotherhood, good work ethic. I mean, hope. So obviously, for you guys, I think it's a good idea to turn to 2026 for football as it is, as well as you're balancing other sports and schoolwork. So for football, to build Baldwin up, what's something that both of you want to see happen, but also feel like is a way to kind of build this thing back up and maybe build it up quicker? I mean, in terms of the culture of the program, obviously trying to get more bodies out there, but also just building on that brotherhood.
Yeah, I think we might need to portray the importance of the safety a little bit more, only because some kids that are in the school are scared to play, but I don't think there's like a real reason to be afraid. I think they handle it perfectly. There's no real reason. They just see it as a little different.
Yeah. A bunch of people are just either scared to play or don't want to play because of the record. Um, I know a bunch of us are trying to convince people to join by like telling them it's not really about the numbers, it's the time, the high school experience, everything you can get out of it, and it's just great to do.
Yeah, I mean, as both you know and have touched on, I mean, that brotherhood. I mean, football, for whatever reason, compared to other sports, is just an unmatched brotherhood. Just the locker room, you know. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, having been to my alumni high school, having seen them go through it and try to build it back up by being independent, it's a process, but if you have a good core group of guys that care, and it seems like you guys both care and have your hearts in the right place. I mean, the turnaround can happen, and absolutely can. So with that, obviously the new realignment numbers are coming out very soon. You know, are you guys hoping to stay 5A? You hoping there's a chance to slip to 4A? Are you hoping that the proposal Fox Chapel's 80 put out there and kind of kicks in and maybe that changes things, or maybe independency? Is that something that you guys would like?
Yeah, I mean, I do wish to move down at least one division because I mean we're playing 5A with definitely
Big
4
dogs.
to 2A competition and numbers. I believe it'll give us more of a chance and more of, even if that would get us more numbers too, because people would also believe we have more of a chance down there.
Yeah, I can go either way with this because I still do want to play bigger teams that I can get good film against that are more exciting games. But then there's also some games that I would like maybe more winnable that I can go out there and have some more fun against.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a tough side. It's competing versus getting film and getting on the big schools versus trying to build this up where it's do we have a chance and trying to convince not just 20 but convince 50. So
Yeah,
it's one of those tough. It's one of those interesting, I guess, debate topics. So I guess I'll just throw this for a little fun. So if Baldwin would decide again, because obviously it's athletic director, the board, there's a lot of hands that make decisions. If Baldwin decides to go independent, what do you think happens?
I think that for like thinking of our future wise, that would be a lot harder for us players to get to like the next level because at this level we're still getting looks. Our film is against good teams either way, and it would just the games would be more fair. I'd bet, but like getting to the next level, that'd be a lot harder, and a lot more difficult.
If we do go independent, what I wish would happen was there's almost like 5 competitive games and then 5 games where you're focused on getting film and competing.
So, I mean, I'm glad. I really like both those answers because it kind of takes us into a little bit of a mindset of a high school football player, especially nowadays, about competing versus film for the next level, where it's kind of like that. Honestly, if your team's there and you have a chance, yeah, go after a championship. That's the number one goal as it should be. But there's situations where, odds are against you, or you lose a couple games and you're kind of out of it, and it's okay. So we look about the film and the career going forward for college opportunities. So it's really interesting to kind of hear it come from both you guys. So following so Coach Brown, obviously, I guess just take me a little bit inside what your program has been like. I mean, and I mean this to be as positive as possible, but I guess looking inside the Baldwin program, kind of I guess in a way, how do you like what do you both think got it to this point?
Um, like this season, we had like the parents had a lot of concern about the player safety. I know one player got pulled by his mom because of it, and I mean, I'm just thinking it's like our whole school is against us. I mean, people make fun of us for wearing our jerseys or gear to even to school on game day. It's, I mean, we all push through it because we love our team, we love our sport. I've an incredible amount of respect for all the coaches and board members and everything. Just a lot of difficulty.
Yeah, there is like a toxicity around the school and around the program. However, we do fun things like, we have a family film night on Mondays where parents get to come in and watch the film with their players and, you get to learn from your mistakes, see what you did wrong. And, you know, they really do prepare us for certain aspects of the game and prepare us for the next level of college. There's just like a divide between like who stays and what happens and how it's all toxic around the program.
I think you guys hit all the challenges on the head. Just like your kind of typical stuff. I mean, so I guess to kind of, follow with that part, what's it going to take? Like, what's going to be the big thing that can instantly change ball and football to say, you know what, we're going to get rid of the toxicity, we're going to cut it down. Is it easy as just winning a couple games and starting off next year 2-0 or 3-1, and then you have some momentum going to a conference slate, or does it need to be more than that?
I think maybe getting a game where you can just like maybe even at the beginning of the season, like you get a game where it's almost like a college football game. You go in there and your players can make plays and not necessarily like it's going to be a win, but it's going to be a competitive game. The fans get something to watch. They can kind of see that you're building it up and then you just build off of that.
Yeah, I just think people need to give us a chance. Like our students need to give us more of a chance and not just accept the fact that we're 0 and 10 and that's how it's going to stay forever. Like if some they got to give us a chance before the season starts and before we show them like we're an actual competitive team. We get those numbers, we get a team, we can practice how we actually should be able to and everything. Because our student section has been screaming at our coaches and they're just not taking into accountability or like joining to see how it actually goes. And once we get a chance, we can actually show everybody who we are.
I like that. Yeah, all we need is a chance. Show everyone who you guys are. Because, like I said, from the outside, personally, I have nothing for or against Baldwin. So I'm just coming from a neutral standpoint. I would like to see you guys turn around because, not being cliche, but underdogs, that's what it's all about. So I'd love to see you guys turn that around quick. You know, um, so because kind of looking at it, so also you guys both have, Max in this case 2 years, Tyler, you got 3 years left. So by the time you guys, I guess 2 years from now, is the goal to be a playoff team? Is the goal to be championship contenders? The goal is to be able to compete all 10 weeks. And if you still go 0 and 10, but it's a one score game every time, it may be painful, but that'd be progress too, obviously. So I guess what's the goal?
The
Realistically, but
goal
also like deep down.
the goal for me is to start winning at least 1 or 2 games a year and be competitive with other teams because since I've been there, we haven't really been too competitive, but it's something that we as a team have been working on to fix.
I mean, the goal at the start of every year is to be a WPIAL champion, right? I
Amen.
mean,
Amen.
that's a very hard goal, of course. Um, but yeah, I mean, we start being competitive, like a realistic standpoint. We start winning one game even next season. That's the start of the turnaround that we need and the momentum.
No, week 0. You know, get that respectfully, get that easier opponent, get a good dub, start 1-0, maybe get a second one right after. A lot of good energy, a lot of good can happen. And this is a little like life tip. If you believe in it and you're all for it and you believe and put the work in, good will come from it. And once you start having that little bit of success and you truly do believe and you walk the walk with it, people will get on board with you. Won't be easy, won't always be clean, but it will be there. So I guess two things I want to jump into to kind of get the people from the outside, who don't know. How tough is it practicing with about 20-25 players max?
Practicing with that many people, it gets hard because sometimes somebody's injured or somebody doesn't necessarily come that day because of a doctor's appointment or just another issue. You don't have a scout team. You're running your offensive plays and your defensive plays against some of the coaches who are willing to step up and get in those positions. But they just came from work. They're already tired. They've been doing stuff all day, so it gets difficult with a little amount of kids.
Yeah, and our options, like scout team's a huge part. Our options are very slim. Like sometimes the scout team won't be as competitive as our offense, and that doesn't give the offense the greatest look and that we need. But I mean, our coaches do give us the opportunity every practice to get better drills. Everything we can do, we are doing. So
Yeah,
it's all
so
good.
so I think it's important to kind of put it out there again. You guys with being limited numbers. You can't control that, but it sounds like the things you do control: attitude, effort, actions, thoughts, words. You're all doing a pretty good job of it. It's just the reality of the situation. So I think for all the people again who are saying, "Oh, it's a disgrace" or "shame on them," they should get rid of the program or do a co-op with somebody. There's pride with your school. There's pride with your hometown. It's what high school football is about. So I think it's important to hear, despite all the challenges, you guys and your teammates, for the most part, put in the work and truly want to do it and truly did everything you could, which that's what matters, and that's what the life lessons of sports are about.
Yeah.
So kudos to you both for, again, doing that and trying to build that as best you can. So the other thing, so we got about, like, we'll say 7 minutes. So Baldwin, like midget football, are kind of like the junior high level. I guess really quick, just give me a glimpse of like what it's like going through, when you're fourth, fifth, sixth grade, junior high to high school. Do you guys feel like it's a solid step up? Do you think there's a gap? Like, kind of where does it get lost from? You know?
I mean, like from my youth, my first youth year, back in sixth grade, we did pretty good. It had some hope. Like we won 2 games that year. Our high school it was not doing the best. But we all still wanted it. Our coaches were really good. Last year in middle school, uh, I know a bunch of people love the middle school coach, Coach Mike. They say he's really good coach, and it's just the step up from like the middle school to the high school level. So it's a lot more to comprehend.
Yeah, ever since I started playing football, we weren't the best team, but I went from sixth grade to eighth grade. In eighth grade year, I had won my first game under a new coach, and that gave in the entire school it gave hope. Some of the people were coming up to us like, "Yeah, you guys won a game." You started to see it a little bit, not just like on the team, but hope elsewhere too. And then when we got to the high school, the numbers come back, and the freshmen have to start competing with seniors for spots, and it just gets a little bit messy when you first come up. So that could be tamed down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious, just kind of looking at, because obviously those things should connect. Um, So I guess in a couple words or a short little blurb, sum up Baldwin football, like what it means to both of you and just kind of the culture you'd like to establish going forward. Whether it be like, something like a hashtag, a battle cry, something good old thing you put on your t-shirts, stickers.
I
Yeah,
mean,
ball with
okay,
you can get you go ahead.
okay. Well, the this
Like
year
sell it to me. Sell it to me.
this year, it was something Max and Joe made. Tango Tango. It was a fun thing we did before the games. Um, and we all kind of just did that. It was to give us like some fun thing to smile about before the game and just boost it a little bit.
Yeah, Baldwin football to me is a brotherhood. That's what it is. You meet new people, you make new friends, and that's all it is, a brotherhood. There are hard times, but they will help you get through it. And if I'm going to use like a little sentence or something to put it all together, I'm going to go all in and win the day.
Yeah. Now, Tango Tango, do you want to share it? That's like just was there anything behind it or just we're just rolling?
Uh, Max made it. I mean, he can answer that one.
Tango Tango, that's just like it started off as a little inside joke between me and Joe Jackson. It was a call last year, my freshman year, that we don't use anymore. And we just thought, Tango Tango, it's a cool word. So we started doing like a little hand motion towards each other. And, that's just how it became a thing. There's not really a real meaning behind it.
It sounds like a vibe. That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, hey, it was a pleasure talking to you both. Before I guess one last thing. Both of you, what was the highlight for you for your season? I mean, it could be anything. Like, what was like I mean, again, 0-10's tough. What was the highlight? What was the thing you're going to take away the most then going into next year?
I mean, my highlight was it was just that point in the season where I just realized like I gotta have fun. Like I started playing a lot better when I just realized I gotta have fun and just let loose, stop overthinking it. And I just had fun. Last game, I got my first high school interception, had two that game. It was it was fun. I mean, we just had fun with it. Once we all started connecting, that was a great part of the season.
Yeah, the highlight for me was, before like the last week of practice, before practice, everybody was in the locker room just having fun, talking, hanging out, throwing like mini little hangout sessions, and it was a good bonding moment, and that was definitely my favorite moment.
I mean, again, some of why it's worth keeping the program, and as long as everybody's safe and it's put together well, which it sounds like both of those are met, it's worthwhile. So
Yeah,
is it fair to say that the Baldwin Brotherhood is on the upswing for the football? That it's going
yeah.
up and 2026 will be a lot better?
Only
Yeah.
going up from here. Yep.
Now, if I say something crazy, I think we're going to try to start something here. Baldwin playoff bound 2026, whether it's 5A or 4A.
I believe it.
We believe it. I mean,
I believe
Has to
it.
start here. Has to
scoreboard
start right
zero
now.
zero.
Hey, everyone's got the same chance. And hey, I mean, Peters Township, who may win a championship in 2 weeks, I mean, 15 years ago, they were in a similar place. Not necessarily number wise, but they were in a similar place with a lot. So
Yeah,
they got their coach in there, got the program reestablished, and here we are 12, 13 years later. So it is possible and it can happen quicker. It may not be a
yep,
championship, but if you guys can, I'm just going to be real with y'all. If you guys can be a part of the team or like the 2 year window that turn Baldwin football back around to be 5-5, competitive every week or most weeks, playoff bound or maybe heartbreak and just miss it by a tiebreaker or something. If you could be the core group that gets it, you will be positively remembered, for forever. To be honest, and it's something to take away. And college coaches they look for that too, leadership, accountability, and the record and the stats may not be great, just because of what happens on the field sometimes, but coaches see that and they see what you're doing, how you kept it together. That goes a long way. So it's a
yeah.
pleasure talking to you both. Getting to meet you both. Like I look forward to seriously keeping eyes on you guys going forward, and I hope you guys turn around. I mean, I'm excited for you guys and Baldwin football playoff bound 2026.
That's what we are. Thank you for
Let's
having
hear it.
us, sir. Nice
Thank
talking.
you.
Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.